Guys, I know it's late. We still have over 3.5 hours to go. So let's just get into it.
Genocide coverage, criticizing people,
attacking
who
people
are
that harass me.
fundraising, creating, working with Palestinian organizations.
I never said it's not important.
Interviewing Palestinians from Gaza.
Hasan, being an advocate for Palestine does not absolve you of criticism. Stop with the silliness.
Anti-Semitic. No, this does not. Because your criticisms are ridiculous. My point I'm trying to make
I mean, that's kind of up to other people to decide.
Your criticisms are in your own mind. Like you have hallucinated an alternative reality.
By the way, gaslighting, anti-Semitic trope. This is what dog whistles are. You whistle to other people, and it's subtle enough
Ethan,
that you have plausible deniability, so that when you get accused of being anti-Semitic, you can call the accuser crazy, which is exactly what you're doing. You are a
Okay, so once again, if you are dog whistling, that means that you genuinely hold beliefs that you are dog whistling, but you don't want to be upfront about those beliefs, and so only people that are basically in your in-group understand what you're saying. So Ethan's like, I would say fairly accurately describing dog whistling. However, it breaks down when Ethan is accusing Hasan of anti-Semitism. So Hasan's dog whistling anti-Semitism, but Ethan's not willing to say that Hasan is anti-Semitic, right? At least 2 days ago he wasn't, and now he's like flip-flopping back and forth. Hey everyone, glad to see you guys are still up. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I hope that this is your normal sleep schedule and you're not as fucked up as I am.
Anti-Semite, and you've been caught out 3 different times, calling me crazy for very viable,
Bro, he's so animated. Holy shit. We have 3.5 hours of this shit to go. I wonder how long it's gonna take. But anyway, Ethan's so amped up because Hasan's like, dude, you sound like a fucking schizo right now. You're getting worked up over a bleach sword, accusing me of anti-Semitism when I wasn't even in the picture that was posted, and you know it's a sword from an anime. And it's not like it's a Nazi anime. If Hasan wanted to watch one of those, there's plenty of Nazi animes around that he could have gotten a weapon from. But it's Bleach, literally like one of the top 3 biggest animes, at least 10 years ago it was. And Ethan is saying that Hasan's secretly a Nazi because he has a sword from Bleach. Okay, dude. Okay, yeah, you're really beating the I'm not crazy. You're beating your crazy allegations.
Credible examples of anti-Semitism that you should at least be able to admit are at least not in.
Bro, you guys are so right. The green screen makes Ethan look so more unhinged than his regular show. Curious. 376k views? Okay, Hasan. Hasan's channel picking up some steam here.
Insane, maybe a misunderstanding, but not insane. But no, according to you, they're all hallucinations. So go ahead and tell me why you're not dog whistling.
Bro, once again, Hasan didn't just say, oh, dude, that's crazy. Why would you even bring that up? Hasan didn't just say that. Ethan brought up his concerns to Hasan. Hasan calmly dismantled them. And then when Ethan decided to double down and insist on saying that it's actually an anti-Semitic dog whistle, then Hasan called him crazy. Okay? So, like, what do you want here? Hasan did engage with you in good faith. And now he's like, dude, I'm not going to just like repeat myself on loop every time you have a schizo freak out. I'm just going to say that you look crazy at this point.
Ethan, because people.
Hey, shout out Australia.
Issue with your statements.
Oh, 4:15 in Australia.
You're not dog whistle.
I hope you're having a fun time in Australia.
Because people having an issue with your statement.
The only thing I know about Australia is Mr. In-Between and Alexander Volkanovsky. So those are your 2 cultural exports that have reached me. They're pretty good representatives, I would say.
And with your coverage on, as a prominent content creator with a relatively progressive audience, your coverage has entirely focused on your own personal feelings and a lot of misplaced paranoia from people who are criticizing you.
There you go, dog
you
whistle.
literally think that people
Can we get a whistle
criticizing
soundbite
you or
every
not
time he calls me
liking you
paranoid or
is
hallucinating?
anti-Semitism.
Okay, I just have to point out that a dog whistle is too high pitched to hear. So I really would love it if Zach got out of his NPC mode and he just is like, yeah, Ethan, here's the dog whistle soundbite, and then just played nothing. I would love that so much if they're like, yes, Ethan, here you go. Here's a dog whistle.
That's not
You
the
got a
case.
whistle?
I used to like you. I don't know anymore. And I don't think it's because of anti-Semitism.
know.
didn't,
I definitely
develop
don't like you.
anti-Semitism After doing a
Let me
podcast with you for 2
stand on
years.
business and say I think you're a terrible person and a liar, and I don't like you at all.
I know. I still wish
I
you
know.
well. I do. I wish you well, and I really do hope.
I wish everybody well. Everybody, be well.
No, not it.
All right, let's move on.
Bro, he's freaking out so much. Oh my god. Ethan's actually like losing his mind. Dude, Hasan's like, holy shit, Ethan, I used to like you. I don't know. Ethan's like, you're a fucking shitty person. You actually suck. You're Satan reincarnated. And then Hasan's like, well, I mean, I wish you well. I wish everybody well. We're wishing everybody well. Like, it's literally like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia character having a breakdown, like mid to late episode. Holy shit. Holy shit, he's actually having like a comedic sitcom like character mental breakdown. I mean, holy goddamn. This is the most entertaining Ethan's been in a long time. I do have to say, Hasan's bringing out the best in him. They should really start the podcast up again.
You got it. You want any more? Call me crazy or hallucinating again? Is that
I don't
all you
even
got?
need to do that. I think you're doing that all on your own. to
see.
be fair.
Yeah, we'll see. So do you want to tell me what is your evidence that I work with or talk to or have any association with at all with Destiny?
Oh, I thought he was going to bring up the ADL. Hasan's talked about the evidence before. Let's see, we take a look at Hasan's channel. We search up. There was something with Destiny. Like, obviously, the main one is he has people from Destiny's community in his Discord or in his Reddit giving him clips. He's also gotten clips from Destiny mods before. Like, that entire community is feeding Ethan Klein clips about Hasan. Ethan. Let's just look up Ethan. Ethan Klein debates Sam Cedar. Ethan Klein versus Hasan. How Destiny's community manipulates Ethan Klein. 30-minute video. Let's add another 30 minutes to our watch time tonight. I am the golden god of this place.
By being a non-stop whiny bigot. Even had some tagging YouTube social accounts to say that they're platforming racism and hate. And we even saw Hasan Piker himself responding, saying, my former podcast co-host misunderstood me when I said in America that anti-Semitism is institutionally unacceptable.
Oh, he brings up the Discord thing? I mean, yeah, you can bring up any kind of evidence, and Ethan Klein, he's just so bad faith, and he's demonstrated that he's bad faith. He's not going to change his stance on anything. And apparently Hasan even said, like, I'm not trying to convince Ethan, I'm just trying to convince his audience. It seems like it's worked. At least a little bit.
Islamophobia is permitted, if not encouraged. Yesterday, he proved my point.
Right.
Well, that received a lot of support.
Where's the Destiny part?
Increasingly poorer. Settle in the West Bank and with the talking points. So, of course, I don't even have to see like Myron and
Where's the Destiny part?
Cook Discord mod sticks sick stuff out there.
Oh, here we go.
They need a
Proof that Ethan Klein is directly collaborating with Destiny's Discord mods to get Hasan clips.
What is this?
So, like, I know he works with Lonerbox. What's the evidence that he works with Dan Saltman? Like, other than the fact that he's taken Dan Saltman websites and thrown that up there, and he obviously has the exact same goal as Dan Saltman to get Hasan banned, and he's pulled a Dan Saltman move, which at the end of his content nuke video, he's like, and you should reach out to the sponsors to let them know that they're sponsoring terrorists. Like, what's the evidence that he's actually worked with Dan Saltman other than they just have the exact same goals and they do the exact same thing, and he's like borrowed strategies from Dan?
some emails an example template. It's preferred if you deviate from it as much as possible.
Oh, Dan Saltman leaked DMs? Oh my god, of course he did. So Ethan Klein was actually DMing with Dan Saltman? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Subject, urgent concern regarding upcoming appearance with Hasan Piker, and then a whole bunch of emails. Dear CNN, I'm writing to bring an urgent concern to your attention regarding an upcoming appearance scheduled with Hasan Piker. It has come to my attention that Hasan Piker is known for promoting anti-Semitic views and expressing support for terrorism-related activities. Oh, bro, please get a job, brother. Get a job, dog. That's crazy. They have brigading email templates, man. They have one for the DNC execs. Oh yeah, there was another. Hold on. There was another thing. There was that JSTLK guy who was like literally sending fake to the DNC. This is probably what they sent to the USC too, right? Yeah. 27,000 emails to the USC deans to try to stop me from speaking on campus. The box text is code to spam email. They're using bots. Yeah. Are they even trying to combat anti-Semitism while they accuse you of anti-Semitism? No, they don't. They're not combating anti-Semitism. If they were, they would be combating themselves. I like that they also, these guys claim they're not obsessed with you. They have an entire Discord server dedicated to this, but also.
All right. Hey, thanks for the super chat, the whimsical warrior. Yeah, what's going to happen when Destiny's followers realize Ethan is useless in the war against Hasan? Does Ethan have many real fans left anymore? I mean, they don't care about actual effectiveness. All they care about is Ethan Klein is willing to say the things they want to hear. So if Ethan ever stops saying those things about Hasan, then they're going to stop listening. But Ethan hasn't been effective in his war against Hasan throughout this entire time. I mean, Hasan's getting a bigger audience than ever before. So it's not, effectiveness has nothing to do with it. He's just scratching their itch that they desperately want scratched.
Back to digging for stuff until Friday. Twitch bans Israel. That's the name in the Discord server. I'm sure I can find something about that. And chair stream gotta wait now. Okay, within minutes, folks. I need to find some clips of Hasan discouraging people from voting. Give me what you can on Wednesday's episode.
Yeah. Also, like, how do you sit there with straight face and be like, "What's your evidence that I worked with Destiny?" when you admit to working with Dan Saltman? Like, Dan Saltman is Destiny's little butt buddy. How would you not be working with Destiny if you're working with Dan?
So Ethan reviewed several clips of Hasan's content. Several times throughout the episode, he started texting with someone, and it appears they were sending him links. What the
an influence he had on them, it was to not vote. Could be wrong. And maybe I
haven't heard that from him.
Yeah. Dude, I've seen so many clips. I've seen so many clips.
I'll pull them.
Sorry, I'm catching up on.
Sounds like Ethan needs clips of Hasan encouraging people not to vote.
Something.
3:38 p.m.
He's actually saying.
Here, I don't know. Pull this video up. I don't know if it's good or not.
Literally just getting clips. Like Ethan admitting he's finding clips that he hasn't even seen. Meanwhile, in Destiny's Discord server.
I was messaging. Yeah.
I just want to watch his video.
Allows them to do this.
Just play the video, Hasan. Goddamn, pausing on me, motherfucker. Okay, so then he sends this video. So someone sends this video. Okay, within minutes, folks, I need someone to find some clips of Hasan discouraging people from voting. Give me what you got if you can. Destiny's mods urgently ask. Holy shit. Like, are you kidding me?
What? Destiny's mods urgently ask for a clip of Hasan discouraging people from voting. 3:55 p.m. Pacific. Someone sends the Destiny mod this post.
This was actually good work done by someone to piece this together.
This week of the election or something.
This one's recent. Let's see what this one is. What this fucking
I like that the crew's like, come on, let's speak of the election, please. And he's like, no, we have to speak on.
Okay, anyway, we don't really need any more proof. Let's see how this keeps going. Debating Ethan Klein.
What? Destiny?
What? What? The guy that I talked about fucking obsessively 100 times a day? We'll see.
Holy shit, dude. Like, do Ethan's fans... I'm sorry. I have to go back to Ethan's video because do Ethan's fans actually think that this is cool? Where Ethan just sits there and then there's like, what? Destiny, the guy that I mock and that I talk about 1,000 times a day. Like, where he just acts like a fucking idiot? Where he just acts like he's brain dead?
For the ADL. Now, what's interesting to me, of course, about this is that
I do not work with the ADL.
For these bands.
I need to see
Hasan,
Ethan's
I do not work
chat.
with the ADL.
Okay, Destiny.
You want to tell me what is your evidence that I work with or talk to or have any association with at all with Destiny?
What? Destiny? What?
What? What? The guy
no,
that I
I
talk
had
about
to-
fucking obsessively 100 times a day? That is like basically like the Antichrist, the Lord.
Let's just see some of this. The giggling, wow, God, Hasan talking down to him is so infuriating. Hasslighter, Hasan is a weaselly little liar. Pathetic, Hasan, that's so sad to say something like that. Okay, take a shot every time Hasan is saying Ethan is hallucinating. This is beautiful. Hasslighting. Yeah, this is like a pretty brain rotted chat out here. Disillusion. CPS was at his house. Basically, they're like, Hasan's talking down to Ethan. I can't believe it. That's so infuriating.
Voldemort, my community. Yeah, you accuse me of working with him, knowing him, talking to him. What is your evidence for that?
Oh, thank you for asking.
Oh, you're very
Not
welcome.
only is there video footage of you corresponding with someone in your Discord that literally aligns perfectly with Destiny's own Discord, offering clips for you to pull.
That sounds like a stretch.
You've also used.
That sounds like a stretch, bro. No, it's not a stretch. Watch the video. It's literally like minute for minute. Like it's like some kind of forensic reconstruction of the timeline. Like something you'd see on what is it, JCS that does the police interrogation videos. Actually, like they got you dead to rights, Ethan. That sounds like a stretch. That's all you have to say?
So, do you want to tell me what the guy that
Thank you for asking. Pull.
gives a fuck? I poured a.
You've also used clips that are unlisted called Hamasabi.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Making
The
arguments
unlisted
about
clips.
my virulent anti-Semitism from
gives a
a
fuck? I
unlisted
pulled a
link
clip.
that came from a Destiny fan account.
So that's
But
your
also-
proof that
but
I work
none
with
of that is
Destiny.
relevant. What's relevant
Okay.
is your constant coordination with Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman, who you featured on your context nuke. So yeah, I don't
I
think it's that
feature him in my
ridiculous of a fucking assertion to make, especially when
what it
considering
was.
the fact that you have been corresponding with Dan Saltman, and you did, and he is Destiny's podcast co-host, and the what does he call himself? The general of the Hezbollah, I think that's what they call themselves, the Taliban and the Hezbollah. They're
They do call themselves Taliban.
I know.
So yeah, I think that is not a ridiculous fucking claim to make at all.
Wait, this
It's
actually
insane,
fits.
and it's
This
a really
lines
convenient
up.
way of discrediting
What the
me when I've
fuck?
never
No, I
spoken
think you're
to,
doing
worked
enough
with,
to discredit
talked about
yourself all
Destiny
on
in
your
my
own. I don't need
life.
to bring that up.
It's a really nice way of you. You know what? I think you're hallucinating, buddy.
Okay.
I think you are you pulled a meme from his subreddit once. And
that's not-
there
that's
was a
not the
guy
only
in your
reason. Did I bring
Discord
that
that's
up?
also in his Discord. I think you're
didn't say any of those
hallucinating.
things.
You sound fucking unhinged, dude. Are you
I-
crashing out, Hasan?
Ethan,
Bro, this has been the entire debate so far. Ethan asks Hasan to respond to something. Hasan responds to it, and then Ethan just like makes farting noises into the microphone and then claps himself on the back. What the fuck is happening?
I didn't say
Hasan,
that.
are you crashing out? Do you have friends who are
reason.
aware of the condition and can help you get the help you need?
Okay, Ethan.
You're delusional.
You featured Destiny's podcast co-host.
I said
that
he
you
discovered the
correspond
IP
with.
ban. Is that not true? I said Dan Saltman discovered the IP ban. That's all I said. I didn't endorse. I didn't. All I said is he discovered the IP ban. Is that true? Is that materially true?
I don't think.
Like, no, it's probably not true. It's probably someone in Dan Saltman's community that gave him that information, and then he made a video or he made a big stink about it. It was probably said on Destiny's podcast. But yeah, Ethan doesn't know it's true. Also, the only way he would know that's true is if he was in DMs with Dan Saltman. Once again, if he heard about it from Dan Saltman, he doesn't know that Dan discovered it. I guess if Dan
is.
said
I
he
think someone
discovered
in
it.
Destiny's community did, but it's fine. Yeah, you brought that up.
So how is that an endorsement?
Ethan,
What? He never said you endorsed Dan Saltman. I mean, also, sure, what the fuck? You do endorse Dan Saltman. Like, just showing a picture of him in your content video isn't by itself an endorsement, but you endorse everything he does because you do the same thing. Why would you not endorse him? Like, do you disavow him? Like, you agree with everything that he does. Like, once again, this is splitting hairs here.
You claiming
Ethan?
that you don't have
Is this what
direct
you do whenever you're
correspondence with
trying to
Dan
avoid
Solomon?
Ethan? Hasan, are you hallucinating?
Ethan,
Bro, Hasan's actually about to crack up. Like, this is really weird, man. This is really weird because it feels like a skit. It feels like a skit, but it's also at the same time 100% just Ethan Klein freaking the fuck out. But I really wish that it was a skit because that's what it feels like. Ethan just like like he's acting like such an unhinged little asshole that he'd be like the perfect fucking, like he's like one of the guys in that movie Bad Bosses, where he's like the crackhead coke addict son who's like the son of the good boss, and he's like, what oh yeah, that's what I thought, douchebag, and then he like hits him in the dick or something and walks off. Like he's acting like such a great piece of shit that he's so entertaining as a movie character. But this is real life. Like, you watch those movies and you're like, okay, well, this is totally over exaggerated. Like, no one actually acts like that. And then you get Ethan Klein feeling really small talking to Hasan, and you realize that no, that person was actually based off of someone in real life who just hates themselves. And then this is what you get. And Hasan's reacting like that too. He's like, I can't believe that this is happening right now. Because he's laughing. It's so ridiculous that Hasan is laughing at Ethan.
Hasan?
do you not correspond with Destiny's podcast co-host Dan Saltman?
I've talked.
Bro. Why is Ethan bringing up these points? Hasan calls him the fuck out on it like a minute later, and then Ethan's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I did talk to Dan Saltman before, but that doesn't mean that I'm collaborating with Destiny. Like, dude, look at this screenshot. Look at the fucking smirk on Hasan's face, and then look at Ethan just crashing out with his fucking shitty-ass green screen behind him. What the fuck is going on, dude? You've DM'd Destiny's co-host. You do the exact same thing that Destiny and Dan Saltman are trying to do to Hasan, get him deplatformed. Even if you've had no communication with them whatsoever, you can still say that you work with them because you're trying to achieve the same goal as them, right? I mean, even if you don't promote their shit, they promote you. They send their fans over to, like, basically manipulate you and send you down a path that they want you to go down. You have no leg to stand on. So why the fuck would you bring up this point and, like, ask Hasan about it? Obviously you work with them. You've DM'd the motherfucker's co-host. What the fuck is happening? You're the one who blames Hasan for CPS coming to your house because Hasan is friends with Denims, who watched a Bad Empanada video, who watched a clip of your podcast saying that that your kids are eating your dog's shit. And so, by all of those points of comparison, you lead that back to Hasan, but you can DM with someone's podcast co-host and you're completely separated from them? Give me a fucking break. Oh my god. He's just a complete innocent victim. Or, like, there's nothing that can stick to this guy. He's completely innocent of everything, and it's everyone else's fault.
To Dan Saltman, but also I don't think that that's Destiny. Is
Oh
it?
yeah, Lonerbox as well. He went on to that little pro-Israeli trip with Destiny. You literally brought Lonerbox onto your show. Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, that's just his podcast co-host and is perfectly aligned with him and uses his community to brigade, and also has literally tried to blackmail people in Destiny's own community.
I don't really fucking care because that's not Destiny, is it?
Sex crimes that he did.
Man,
do you feel like that's
really
a good person to align with? That you
I'm
now
not endorsing
openly
him. I'm not endorsing him at all. I just said I've spoken to him.
No, yeah, you're not endorsing him. You're just getting information
Have
from
you
him
ever
to
spoken
use.
to somebody you don't endorse? I mean, what kind of silly bullshit are we doing here?
Certainly. That is, yes.
Well,
I
there
speak
you
to people
go.
Fartist123, that's a possibility that you couldn't consider until you see him debate like this. And then you realize that Israel would be better off taking literally anyone else's family hostage and making the person debate for the safety of their return. Like, dude, his debate style is like a 4-year-old. What the fuck? He's literally just like blubbering into the mic saying gibberish. And he's acting like he's wrecking Hasan. Yeah, what is this face, dude? What the fuck is this face? Like, oh my god, you can screen cap this face, but it's literally any frame from this video. Ethan's just acting like a moron.
Oh my
Don't
god,
endorse.
dude.
I'm speaking to one right
Dude,
now.
you talked to Dan Saltman. You're fucking outed as a Destiny's best friend.
Ethan, you're the one who admitted that just now. You
I
also
said I've
brought
spoken
forward,
with Dan Saltman, not that I'm a Destiny collaborator, which is what you claim, which is an outright, pathetic, provably wrong lie. And this is part of your disinformation campaign to delegitimize my
don't think I
points
need to
without ever
delegitimize you
having
by
to address
associating
them.
you with
And isn't
Destiny.
that convenient? You never have to address anything I say because you can just say, Ethan's friends with Destiny. Ethan's hallucinating.
Ethan, I don't think
Hasan?
I didn't bring up Destiny. You did. And
Yeah,
also,
because you lied about me.
Bro, he's acting so unhinged. What the fuck is going on? I would love to see the crew's faces. There has to be like a B footage of the crew's reactions to this, where they're just like trying to eat their wraps or whatever the fuck they bought for lunch that day, like avoiding eye contact with Ethan as he desperately looks around the room for any kind of support at all.
For 2 years working with them.
2 years.
That's right. Hasan, listen.
Ethan, this is kind of embarrassing.
A
to
year and a
admit,
half.
But I defended you both to my community and in general because I thought that you were a lot more open-minded until pretty
What
much
have we disagreed on?
the December of
What have we disagreed
2024.
on? I'm
What?
sorry. What am I not open-minded about? What have we disagreed?
Dude, literally this entire debate you've been disagreeing. Why are you acting like this? You said putting a picture of me and Ben Shapiro in an Arab tier list in the F tier is anti-Semitic. You've said that taking a picture with a bleach sword is anti-Semitic. Yeah, that's what you disagree. Like the shit you brought up that you've accused Hasan of being anti-Semitic about. That's what you disagree on. Oh my god, I can't with this dude.
On Hasan, other than me criticizing you and your friends? What have I said against the Palestinians?
Other than criticizing you and your friends. Okay. So I guess you and your friends are off the table. Let's list the shit that Ethan Klein disagrees with Hasan on about Israel and Palestine. Well, Ethan Klein has said that it's not a genocide, it's a war. Hasan disagrees with that. Okay, that's number one. Ethan Klein has also said that Hamas can end the war at any time by releasing the hostages. Hasan disagrees with that. Ethan Klein has said that the Israeli government is genocidal, but actually the people don't support the genocide, which is just factually not true when you look at the polling of Israelis. Ethan Klein has said that Zionism is basically just describing Jews, and so if you're an anti-Zionist, you're actually anti-Semitic. Hasan disagrees with him on that. Ethan Klein has argued that the solution for the Palestinian question is to have the UN or some other government basically have martial law over Gaza and over the West Bank for about 50 years for tensions to cool between Israelis and Palestinians, and then there could be a one-state solution. Hasan disagrees with him on that. Ethan Klein has said that if you get rid of the ethno-state, if you get rid of the Jewish supermajority of Israel, that is tantamount to genocide of the Jewish people. And so you cannot have a one person, one vote for Palestinians and Jews in Israel, in Palestine, which is what I'm calling a one-state solution, because that would be genocide, which is humorously something that Norm Finkelstein said in a clip that Ethan brought up to try to get Hasan. And he's like, okay, well, Norm Finkelstein didn't actually mean one person, one vote. He didn't actually mean the one thing that he added to the saying from the river to the sea. Yeah, Hasan disagrees with him on that. Hasan doesn't care about ethnostates, and in fact, he's actually against ethnostates. So there's all of those things that Hasan disagrees with Ethan on. Let's see if you list any of them.
Palestinian people. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Also, Ethan flattens Jewish culture, flattens Muslim culture, just makes it Arabs versus Jews, which is it's fucking racist against Jews and Muslims to do that.
What we are
What do we
disagreeing
disagree
on
on?
is what you choose to focus on, and
that
what
seem
you
significant?
think is the major point of contention here.
Well, that's first of all, I'm what I choose to focus on is certainly something you can
A little
critique.
frivolous.
Hasan could have come at him harder with that. Like, come on, dude. If you're gonna have a debate with Ethan Klein about Israel and Palestine, have a little bit more than that. Have Ethan's actual positions on Israel and Palestine, and then be ready to hammer him on those positions. Like, he's justified the ethno-state of Israel so many times. Attack him on that. That's the root of Zionism, dude.
But does that justify like lying about me continually for a year and a half just because you don't like where I'm focused? That seems immaterial.
Lying about what?
About me being a Destiny fan, about hallucinating, sweeping for your anti-Semitic friends, lying about context, saying that my video's out of context without watching it. Hasan, take your time.
Do you feel like your video wasn't out of context? Wasn't a clip
Absolutely not.
compilation of a 2-hour sequence of out of context clips?
You want to do
Yeah, Hasan was too gentle with Ethan. I definitely agree with that assessment.
this? What's out of context?
Okay.
Name one thing. Go ahead, read the chat. Someone will send you on Discord.
No. I have it readily available.
Well, I'll wait.
One of the major points that you made that I've seen through other people's coverage of it so far is that I deny rapes happening on October 7. Okay? That I deny rapes happening on October 7. There's a clip of you when you first encounter that statement where you are actually understanding of my position until your wife stops you and says, that's inappropriate. You literally say, oh, he's saying the likelihood of rapes happening does not justify genocide, which you agree a genocide is happening. Ever since then, though,
Uncontested.
months later, you still chose to use
Her
that
name is
clip that
Hila, by the way,
14
Hasan.
seconds
I
long out
don't
of
know why you
context.
referred to her as my wife. I find that a little chauvinistic, frankly. You know who she is. You know her well. You've begged for Teddy Fresh from her many times. So
Oh my god, he's still butthurt about Hasan giving Teddy Fresh to homeless people on Skid Row. It's... Oh my god, dude. Ethan spends too much time online. I'm just gonna say that. He spends way too much time on Reddit. I spend too much time on Reddit. And I don't have kids. This motherfucker spends more time on Reddit than I do. And it's his Reddit. Dude, you should not have that kind of relationship with fans. I'm sorry, guys. I love you. I'm not gonna fucking sit there and look at every single post that people make. I try to read some comments. I read chat. I try to do a good job reading chat. But I don't sit there and I scroll through all of my videos comment sections like 24/7 and see every single thing that people are saying about me. That's what Ethan Klein does on his Reddit, dude. Holy fuck. That's literally like what Redditors were posting. He's never brought that up before, where Hasan begged for Teddy Fresh clothes. But you know it's stuck in the back of his mind because he saw it on Reddit. And so he brings it up in this debate. You begged my wife for Teddy Fresh. Say her name. Say my name. Like, just throw Hila Klein in there. Say my name, Hasan. Give her the Heisenberg hat. Okay. Yeah. Hila Klein dressed up in like whitey tighties, a plaid flannel shirt, and the Heisenberg hat. Say my name, Hasan. Nightmare fuel.
like, yeah, you know who she is.
Okay,
You've written her
Hila.
emails asking for clothing. Her name is Hila.
Mm-hmm. That's, I mean,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's
So why
fine.
don't you say that?
Okay.
Why, who goes, oh, your wife? Like, she's not. She has no. She's just like, oh.
I wasn't. Can you respond to what I was saying?
Yes,
Why
absolutely.
is
With
it-
with
why
great
is it
pleasure, I will
that-
respond.
Why is it that
Bro, I'm so disappointed that Hasan didn't actually know Ethan's positions on Israel and Palestine. I'm so disappointed in that. He had a perfect opportunity to go on the attack, and now he's like debating the content nuke. Who gives a fuck? Just watch it with Ethan if you want to talk about that shit. What's the point of the debate?
you
Because
initially
Hasan,
understood the full
that was
context
one.
until Hila stopped you and said,
Very good.
No, no,
He
no.
said it. I'll answer. Would you like me to answer? That's one example of many. Seeing your response in the totality of all the responses shows that you do deny the rapes that happened on October 7th.
In the totality of all my responses.
In fact, you had promised me, and I know you would never lie to me, that you would watch the context puke with me. So why don't we pull up that bit there, and we can see how out of context it is.
Boom, do it.
Great. Someone pulling that, Dan? How you doing? I'm waiting for the link. You good?
Am I? Oh yeah, I'm great. I don't think this is going the way you perceived it to be going, but
sure. I mean, you're reading your chat. Do you think that's the most accurate way to...
I was thinking about being a lot more stern.
Is this off screen? What is happening? Like, is Ethan Klein's feed cut out? Why are they having this like a side conversation? What is happening? Where is this? Where is this? Discussing Hasan's R denial. Just write it. Okay. Destiny.
Out of context?
Absolutely
wasn't a
not.
Compilation of a 2-hour sequence of out of context clips.
You want to do this? What's out of context?
Okay.
Name one thing. Go ahead, read the chat.
Okay. All right, man. So some interesting social interactions in this video. And I like toggling back and forth to get the two different perspectives.
Last conversation that we had where I am trying to gently nudge you in the direction of sanity.
Wait, they actually pressed the button? I wanted some of those clothes. Did they press the button, really? They really pressed it? I was wondering why Ethan like was suddenly kind of more candid with Hasan. Bro, he's actually acting like a clown. He's actually acting like he needs to like put on this performance and just do like blow bells and whistles or ring bells and blow whistles while to like entertain his fans, like some jangling keys. Anyway, I don't really care. A couple Teddy Fresh ideas. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't want my drawings to be associated with that shit.
And
Ethan, I want you to really understand. You're crazy. You're crashing out. You're hallucinating, my friend. Come sit over here. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's such a good soundbite. Guys, I need a good software to like get sound bites because that's such a good soundbite. Ethan, I want you to understand. You're crazy. You're crashing out. Come sit over here. That's such a good soundbite.
Ignore the accusations of working with the ADL with no credibility. Ignore the tier list with fucking Ben Shapiro and Ethan. Come sit here. You're hallucinating. Oh, thank you so much for, you know what? Thank you, Hasan. That's so kind of you. How fucking genuine of you to take off the baby gloves. You fucking liar.
I mean, this is the baby.
Bro, I'm sorry. Like Ethan's actually just cracking me up. He has a good soundboard. All right, yeah. Maybe he does have a good soundboard. Maybe I should check out some of his videos or streams or something.
You are a prolific liar, bro. How fucking genuine of you to take off the baby gloves. You fucking liar.
I mean,
fucking liar.
This is the baby.
You are
gloves.
a prolific liar, bro. Where's the link?
Fucking liar.
Just control F for.
The reason, for the record, the reason why I don't like to bring Gila into the conversation is because I'm addressing
because he's a misogynist,
and I don't think that it's appropriate for me to, you know, extend the lens of criticism to other
that's
people.
a little silly considering you're like, well, actually, it was Hila who influenced your opinion, the evil IDF lady.
Okay.
Anyway.
While we're waiting for the clip.
No, I got it.
Well, okay.
The violent rapes that took place, that is way beyond the pale.
I don't have another soda, but I'm hearing you. There is one instance in captivity.
Uh-oh, chair react.
That we have.
I'm not going to let you chair react to me, buddy. You grab that, Dr.
Listening.
Pepper. I'll wait.
No, I said I'm listening to you. Don't worry. I was just grabbing another soda. Go ahead.
On the pale.
Is that a?
There is one instance.
Did you put a
in
Hamas
captivity
headband on me?
I sure did.
There is one
God, dude.
instance in captivity that we have actually gotten verifiable evidence on. Beyond that, the systematized mass rapes that Hamas dealt on October 7, not a single bit of that has been verified. And people
It's true,
still run
yeah.
with it over and over and over again.
Many
Bro, I'm
young
sorry, that's
people were
actually just true.
simply attending a music festival. Women were horribly raped.
I can't see myself, by the way, if you're showing
As
my
I said,
reaction.
Oh, you're giggling. You're
Israel
giggling.
has
It's so
a right-
funny.
has a
No,
right
I'm
to
not
defend
giggling.
itself.
I'm
What
cringing.
rapes
sure
did
are.
do? Bro, what rapes did
literally
Hamas do?
wasn't
What are you
giggling.
talking
What
about?
rapes did
The
Hamas
Stop
do?
Anti-Semitism account that considered me to be anti-Semite of the week has also been hallucinating rapes once again, doing rape fantasies once again because they're fucking mentally ill.
Hamas has
You know that-
committed
That's something you go to a lot. You notice that?
What?
Call people mentally ill. find that odd. Probably should revise that. I don't know if that's kosher for leftist values.
horrific
I'm
acts
not
of sexual
exactly,
violence.
I'm
took
not exactly doing a lot of stuff that's kosher for leftist values in general.
Oh, okay.
but
So
I don't
you,
really,
Bro, I'm sorry, Ethan. At this point, I think calling you mentally ill is a compliment. Holy shit. You're actually just like making farting noises into the microphone and acting like that's a that's a W in your conversation with Hasan.
I have no problem weaponizing mental health.
yeah, when
I
someone is
don't-
hallucinating, I think it's appropriate to say that. Yeah.
By your authority, I will decide who's hallucinating. Hasan. Watch
Okay.
this.
horrific acts
God.
of sexual violence.
He's freaking out so
Hasan, I am
much.
so sorry. You promised that we would watch this. I pulled it up. Now sit silently and enjoy.
But I got the point. You're
Hamas
saying that like
committed
you're
horrific
showing
acts
clips
of
of me.
sexual
You're showing
violence
clips of me saying
and
that
took
someone
Women
is
and girls,
Come
women
on.
and boys slaughtered after enduring sexual violence. The deadliest day for the
Oh
Jewish
my God.
people.
Like, as bad as Trump is, I'm so glad Joe Biden's not in office anymore. Hearing that fucking hoarse old man trying to croak out a sentence was painful. It's like
Rapes
ripping a
happened
band-aid off my hairy ass arm every time he spoke.
on October 7. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. So that's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with. Like,
I can't believe how quickly leftists go from believe all women to pics or it didn't happen. There you go, Hasan. What do you
Picture
got?
it didn't happen. Great commentary, by the way. Okay, so
I mean, it's pretty apt.
okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You did actually. I'm surprised. You did actually show the my findings on the UN committee report that came out. That was
The one that you
a-
misrepresent continually.
I did not
that you fucking
misrepresent the UN
continually lie
preliminary
about the
report.
conclusion.
Wait, what did I misrepresent about the UN
Go
preliminary
ahead, you tell
report?
me. Tell me what it said.
The UN preliminary report.
Tell me what it
was
said, 'cause
not
I've
an
never read it.
investigative Report, like for example, the investigative report that came out about Israel's systematized sexual assaults that was 49 pages long.
Horrible. What a horrible thing that was.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Unironically,
absolutely.
just unacceptable.
The level of evidence in a preliminary report is only enough to actually create an actual investigation. The problem is Israel has denied an actual investigation to take place. Israel has told the United Nations that they are not allowed to do an actual investigation and to simply listen to what they have to say. Now, not only is Israel,
there are
you know,
literally
let's be real.
women
Do-
who have
do you-
said
do you
I
feel like
was
the Israeli
raped.
government lies?
Do
a
you?
lot?
I mean, all governments.
So Ethan actually has never brought up an example of a woman saying I was raped. I mean, in his content nuke, where he called Denims a dumb bitch, he included a clip of a woman saying she witnessed rapes within Hamas custody in Gaza after she was taken hostage on October 7th, but he didn't include any clips of a woman saying she was raped on October 7th. And he actually never even included a clip of a woman saying that she was raped in custody under Hamas in Gaza. Like he never included any clips of women saying they were raped. Once again, he included a video of a woman saying she witnessed rapes, and she was describing how sexual violence was a daily part of life as a hostage in Gaza. And I think there's no reason to disbelieve her. It sounds like that's true. Some women were fine, some women weren't assaulted, and some women were assaulted. That's just, yeah, there was evidence that that some members of Hamas did sexual violence to the hostages. And those people should be held accountable, of course. However, Israel wants to make it seem like Hamas did coordinated mass rapes where they were ordered to do sexual violence. That's just not the case. Hamas actually wasn't really expecting to get as many hostages as they did get because they were expecting a harsher military response, or like a quicker military response. So anyway, that's kind of the fact of the matter. Let's see if Ethan will actually bring up anything to support his claim that, hundreds of women have come forward saying that they were raped by Hamas on October 7th. Also, thank you for the gifted sub, Whimsical Wanderer.
There's women that come out and said, I was raped.
What?
There are women on the record, on video, saying
There are females in the Israeli military who filed over 50 complaints altogether about sexual harassment, and only a small proportion of those have been pursued as charges, apparently. So they're filing sexual harassment against, like, other members of the IDF, their higher-ups and stuff. Yeah, let's just say Israel doesn't seem to have the best standards when it comes to investigating claims of rape, whether it happens to Jewish people or Palestinian people. Or by Palestinians.
You're saying there are multiple women that are on the record saying I was raped. There is, as far as I understand, one instance in captivity. It is not
as far as you understand, because you don't give a fuck about the reality of it.
What?
Well, of course, that's as far as you can conclude, because you don't give a fuck about the truth.
Well, why don't you bring up evidence, bro?
Ethan.
Hasan, please, calm down. You're getting worked up.
I don't know why you're behaving in such a childish manner when we are actually talking about finally some serious stuff. Okay?
Well,
Okay. In terms of the UN preliminary report and the findings, okay, there is a clear-cut lack of evidence for any forensic examination to take place due to the incompetence of the Israeli government and specifically the organization Zakah that spent most of its time in the immediate aftermath of October 7 taking bodies out of body bags and putting them into Zakah branded body bags. This was reported by the Haaretz as well.
Body bags.
They polluted the evidence pool. Okay? That's number one. Number two, numerous people that came out and offered eyewitness testimony have since then been discredited, also according to Haaretz reporting.
Which article?
I can't pull it up right now.
What's the Haaretz article that accuses victims of sexual assault of lying about it? Go ahead and link me that one. And by the way, while you look for that,
not victims of sexual assault, Ethan. I'm using my words very carefully.
All right, guys, let's look it up. Haaretz Oct 7 witness retraction. See if we find anything. Haaretz, 15 witnesses, 3 confessions, a pattern of naked. How do you report on a massacre? What the scope of Hamas's campaign of rape? Screams without words. Sheryl Sandberg's film gives voice. Israeli commission. Rape claims exposed. Israelis must recognize the massacre in Gaza. I can't erase all blood from my mind. The claims of October 7th assaults r/Israel and Palestine. Israel must release the Gaza paramedic and investigative. Okay, let's just see what this first article is. April 18th, 2024. All the evidence of Hamas rape on October 7th. Became one of the most talked about and controversial issues on that. So this isn't really what we're talking about. The nature of the sex crimes. The real problem is the ability to go to trial on the basis of admissible evidence of a sufficient level for court. Thus, with no charges regarding the sexual attacks have yet been presented at court, Haaretz spoke with dozens of sources who are dealing with the subject in an effort to map out the evidence. Okay, what are the sources? Our investigation also drew on the 2 comprehensive reports compiled to date on the subject. One from Pramila Patton, the UN special okay, so this is the UN report that we read. And the other by Dr. Karmit Klar-Kalamesh and Noga Berger from the Association of Rape Crisis Centers in Israel. In the meantime, relatives of the captives and the murdered have also launched an international legal effort to seek justice for the victims. The courageous testimony of released hostage Amit Susanna, the first woman to speak publicly about the sexual assault she underwent in captivity. So I think this is who Hasan is talking about when there's one credible testimony of someone who got sexually assaulted in captivity, rendered the sexual violence being committed against captives women an undeniable fact. Okay, witnesses and survivors. There were at least 15 survivors from the Nova Music Festival, where more than 360 people were murdered, who were witnesses to acts of individual rape and gang rape at different places on the grounds of the party. 5 have already spoken about what they saw in the media. An examination by Haaretz indicates that the Safe Heart organization, which was established in order to provide psychological support for the survivors of the massacre, has at least 10 more eyewitnesses whose testimonies have not been yet made public. Did he actually call him out on using ChatGPT? What clip are you guys talking about? Anyway, of 5 eyewitnesses who have come forward publicly, at least 3 have also given testimony to the police. Haaretz approached several of them, but they said they do not wish to go over their testimony again. Sapir and Yura, 2 young people who hid together in the area of the party, told the New York Times that they had seen a number of gang rapes and murders of women, and testified that they had witnessed acts of sexual organs being mutilated. Raz Cohen, who hid next to Highway 232, told a series of media outlets, including Israel's Can 11 and The Times, that he had seen gang rape and murder. Shom Gueta provided supporting testimony of this. The Sunday Times in Britain published testimony of another individual named Yoni Sedan, who told the paper he had seen gang rape and the murder of a woman. The Safe Heart organization cooperated with the UN team. They are now ready to relate. Yair Grinbaum, head of emergency intervention for Safe Heart, told Haaretz what 4 of the witnesses saw. Among the cases that have come to our knowledge, there is eyewitness testimony from the Nova Party that an armed man raped a woman and shot her to death. 2 additional witnesses saw a gang rape in which, according to the descriptions, between 7 and 10 assailants took part. Another witness saw a gang rape in which 5 assailants took part. One of the gang rapes was in a field, the other was on the grounds of the party. Both ended with the victim's murder. Okay, what does he say? Dr. Demian Halperin, the same organization's head of psychiatric support, told Haaretz about 6 more eyewitnesses. All 6 are men who survived Nova and whom he is treating personally. Most of the rapes that his patients witnessed occurred on the fringes of the principal site where the massacre took place, he says, in places where few people were present. The stories I know occurred in relatively isolated places, with the exception of one case that happened, according to what I was told, in the party's parking area. The other cases of gang rape occurred in far-off fields where it was less likely there would be witnesses. To the best of my understanding, the only situation in which a